Hello, my name is Darryl Robert Schoon, and I'm going to discuss the possible U.S. confiscation of gold, why it happened in the past, and why it could or may not happen in the future. To understand the confiscation of gold and its possibility today, I think we should first review what happened in 1933 when the United States government, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102, prohibiting the private ownership of gold by U.S. citizens. It was done in the guise of helping the economy, but it did not do so, because in fact it wasn't done to help the U.S. economy. The prohibition of gold by the United States was done to continue the franchise of paper money, not to help the economy. In fact, after gold was confiscated, the economy didn't improve at all. It stayed in a depression for years, but the paper money franchise was preserved. The possibility of the United States doing it again at this time in a like period of monetary chaos is indeed possible. But there are factors that are very different today than they were then. I want to emphasize the crises that we're in. We are in a historic crisis that has happened throughout history. There is a book I'd like to show you called Fiat Paper Money, The History and Evolution of Our Currency. It was put together, it was written by Ralph T. Foster in Berkeley, and it is a historical recapitulation of paper money throughout history. Every experiment with paper money has failed, and it will do so again today. And that is what is happening. Every time paper money collapses, savers in those nations attempting to save what money they do have move from paper money back into gold and silver. This is what the United States government tried to prevent in 1933 when the banking system was collapsing. It is again collapsing, and the possibility of another U.S. confiscation should not be dismissed. But the times are very, very different in that in 1933, what they tried to do was to keep U.S. citizens from shifting their assets from paper U.S. dollars into gold, which happens throughout history. It's a natural default in times of monetary chaos. And since we're entering those times today, they are afraid of, once again, of investors and savers moving towards gold and silver as their fiefdom of paper currency collapses. The difference is this. It does not mean that they won't again attempt to do so. What it means is the context, the arena has changed considerably. In 1933, when the U.S. prohibited U.S. citizens from owning gold, most of the paper dollars in existence were owned by U.S. citizens. Today, a vast majority of U.S. dollars are held overseas. And the United States government, it could again pass a law prohibiting U.S. citizens from owning gold, but it can do nothing about the Chinese, about the Japanese, about those in South America, in Russia, other countries in Europe, from dumping their paper dollars and investing them in gold and silver. So if the United States government did in fact pass a similar law, all it would do was further hamper the ability of Americans to survive during the coming economic crisis. At this time, China is actively encouraging its citizens to buy gold and silver. At the very same time, the United States government is actively encouraging its citizens to buy stocks and to stay in U.S. assets, in paper assets. There's a reason for this. The Chinese understand, and the rest of the world understands, that the fiat currency based on paper money is collapsing. And the only default safety, the only safe haven throughout history has been gold and silver. Those in the United States, those in Western countries, are being encouraged by the bankers to stay within the, quote, safety of paper money. There is no safety there. In November, issues such as this are going to be discussed at the Gold Standard Institute in Canberra, Australia. I will be there, as will be Professor Antal Fekete and other speakers on this subject. If you have the wherewithal to attend and the curiosity to do so, I would like to see you there. Thank you.